Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back into the last entrance in the Land Before Time franchise, and finally on the last film. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, but I'll also do a review of the series as well. So, yeah, so technically it's not the end yet until I finish this, until I review the series. So, but we're on the last film now. So. Land Before Time XIII: The Wisdom of Friends. Released in the year released in 2007, the next year, once again direct to video, and once again, well, first of all, this is Charles Grosvenor doesn't direct. Well, technically the credits he's a supervising director, but supervising director is probably like producing it, so supervising director, producers. I mean, it's pretty much almost the same thing, but probably not though. But this time it's directed by Jamie Mitchell. So these are directing, but Charles Grosvenor is supervising director or producer, whatever, And also once again a different voice who is voicing Littlefoot, but also this time this voice here goes on to his voice Littlefoot in the series. So. But also still the same cast members, of the other characters: Sarah, Ducky, Petrie, Spike, Grandma Longneck, and also this is like the first time I've ever seen that Kenneth Mars, who voices Grandpa Longneck, does not appear in this film. It's only Grandma Longneck, So, and it's also like, and this is another one that has two guest starring voices, which is Sandra Oh, from which probably mostly from the show Grey's Anatomy as Dr. Yang. She's one of the main cast members in the show Grey's Anatomy, and also one of the highlights for the film for me, Cuba Gooding Jr. stars a voice. So Sandra Oh and Cuba Gooding Jr. voiced these two characters, the Yellow Bellies, Loofah and Doofah. These two right here. And that's another what make the film worth enjoying, because they both did. Once the the special guest stars in the other previous sequels, they did a good job in this film. So, getting into first off, getting into the the reception is, this one has IMDb has a 5.6 IMDb, and this one has one of the lowest ratings on rated by audience on Rotten Tomatoes. This one has a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes rated by audience, So that's like one of the lowest rated on Rotten Tomatoes by the audience as from the whole series, So, but 5.6 is still average, like the other sequels as well, So, yeah. Oh. And so now getting into the story, it opens up with a Littlefoot, eating tree stars, and he sees that he can get without reaching up, there's a giant log that runs across a open trench, and so you can easily get the tree stars there, but then there's an earthquake, and the tree starts to rumble, so Grandma Longneck grabs him, but she's on the tree stump, so the tree falls, and she's hanging on for dear life, but she manages to climb back up, So, but then, and also but later in the night, Loofah has a nightmare about the same incident, and it's when Grandma Longneck started teaching him about the wisdoms, stuff that happens unexpected. You learn lessons, like some of the ones like stay in a group, keep eyes and ears open, like those sort of things, So, but of course I don't remember all of them. There wasn't that many. So, but then next day when Sarah and the others are playing a game, but which is called jumping over the rocks and getting swept away, but Littlefoot overreacts, but it tells about the wisdoms, and they're like, what? Oh, but Petrie goes, oh, so I think it was called say-sos, because his mom teaches the same way, but she says it, but why she said it? Because she says so, that's what he calls them, say-sos. But as they're and they sing a song about it, as well, called "Say So." But then as they're doing that, one thing leads to another. Then they get reintroduced to our yellow bellies, which is they're called, which is Loofah and Doofah, and was the one Fubi, which Loofah and Doofah once again, like I said, voiced by Sandra Oh and Cuba Gooding Jr., which they both did good voicing. And it's also the second animated film that Cuba Gooding Jr. did. Like, he did the voice in Home on the Range. That was in 2004, So, just want to say that. So, they greet him, and they wanted to show where some berries are. They eat all the berries because they love berries, and ask for a drink of water and ask them where they're going, Ask them to a place called Berry Valley, which is supposed to meet their herd out there, But the yellow, what they know is that the yellow bellies, they have like how to say it, well it shows that later they have no sense of direction. They don't know where they're going, like where they say, where we're going? Oh, that way, like they're like each one is pointing a different direction, And Loofah wants to teach them the wisdoms, but they'll mainly click on, like I would say, they don't, they don't get it right away, But also funny that as soon as they say goodbye as they leave, which is the way is entering the mysterious beyond, and the night Loofah has the same nightmare like what happened to with his grandma, but in this case it's them walking on the tree trunk and they fall down, So he drags his friends along to help them out, to give them direction where they go, where they're supposed to go, And when they manage to catch up to them, and they end up they end up startling them, like they're supposed to, like when they stick their heads in the ground, but the ground's too hard, It's like hard ground, But it ends up causing, like, they're supposed to stay in one group, and then which they managed to because the edge they're standing on breaks off in the end. They're like riding on the rock all the way down the slope, and while they're going down sliding down the slope, which Doofah thinks is, oh, this is fun, Then there was a piece of music that I was what I was listening to, that sounded quite a little bit familiar, as I kept on rewinding and kept on listening to that tone again. I realized that they used that piece of music I heard came from the film of Mr. Magoo, Mr. Magoo, starring Leslie Nielsen, and there was that piece of music of the score of that film was used when was during that car chase where Leslie Nielsen was driving the eggplant mobile, and chasing the guy who stole his car, in that car chase, there was that piece of music, whatever that's that tone was like. And as I realized, I was like, oh wow, they used that little piece of music from Mr. Magoo that was during that scene where they were sliding down the slope, and I was like, oh wow, they took that little piece from Mr. Magoo and added it in there. That was quite interesting, So yeah, so okay, so that was like kind of interesting, So took that piece right there, that little piece of music. Okay. So as I managed to get down there, and they started wanted to lead the way, I also asked Loofah to lead the way because they know that they don't know where they're going, but ask her how they supposed to where they supposed to meet, and Loofah says near a giant rock that looks like them, like of course like when Loofah's standing is in front of us, and as soon as he moves, believes like there's a shape of the rock that looks like as soon as he moves, and most of them have a sense of direction, like when Fubi points out, he's the one that makes them has like the most sense, because he notices that's right there, but you know, and which I'll get to in another part here, and they see the rock, but Sarah wants them to but they're saying there's the rock, you know, they can just go from there, you know, as they see in view, you know, let them go from there, you know, but Littlefoot doesn't want to leave them still, you know. So they manage to just let them until they meet the herd, then they can leave before dark, you know. And as they leave, but not far behind, there's a pack of sharp teeth around, which this species is called the baryonyx, you know. It's like a Spinosaurus, you know, but without the fin, you know, because they still have the long snout, you know, and baryonyx is like a Spinosaurus without the fin, you know. And there's four of them, a pack of four, you know, and their leader has like a long scar that goes around his face, you know. So that which makes it the leader of the pack, you know. Then they sense them as they start trailing them, you know. And when they send the yellow bellies, they stop because they're thirsty, you know. And they want them to go, asking them to go get some water, you know. So Loofah tells them to stay put, stay as a group, you know, using one of the wisdoms, you know. So as they're leaving, and as they're sitting waiting, you know, Phoebe, which like I said still has a sense, you know, he sees the sharp teeth from behind them, you know, and he wants to drag them along, but they keep Loofah and Doofah saying, oh, they're like they're seeing things that look like it's so real, like a mirage, you know, and Phoebe's grabbing them, trying to pull them away, you know, saying they're not real, you know. But then they didn't realize they're real, you know. So they get chased and they get a dead end where a cliff is and where the Loofah and his friends are above them, you know. And they think they're cornered, but then they start the yellow bellies, they start jumping, you know. They start jumping, and it's causing the rocks or the cliff to start crumble, you know, start to shake, you know. And that's where they get the idea from Littlefoot gets the idea where to drop more rocks above them and starts piling on them, you know. And soon the pack gets covered in rocks, you know. And then the yellow bellies, they run the other back where they're going, you know. Start running ahead of them, you know. This is going to take into more parts. So I'm going to stop right here. So I'll now start where I left off. So this is end for part 1, and so stay tuned if you're watching this, and stay tuned for part 2, I mean. So see you in a bit.